John Linus, welcome to the Circularists. It's an absolute honor to have you as my guest for this interview. I would like to hand you the floor. I would like you to tell all of us, the Circularist audience, about you, your work, your passions.
Yes, thanks a lot, Karen. My name is John Linus. John Linus is a student at Moi University. Moi University is one of the universities in Kenya. And apart from being a student at Moi University, I volunteer with a number of organizations, including United Nations Global Compact on Climate Action. I equally volunteer with UNESCO and also volunteer with UNFCCC's DG World. Apart from that, also I volunteer with United Global Youth Consortium against FGM. So also I'm the founder of Green World Youth. Green World Youth is a coalition of young change makers that advocate for sustainable development goals. What we do is we amplify what people do at a grassroots level, and also we tell people what they need to do to have a sustainable world. And in doing so, we're equally ranked at position 202 top 500 global influencers on climate action. And as John Linus, I'm driven by passion to see people come better by doing small but consistent activities. So I believe that in my efforts one day or one time, create a positive impact to the world. Back to you, thanks.
What a resume you have. You're still a student and you are ambassador and involved in the United Nations, UNESCO. What was your pathway towards accessing these platforms? I'd love to know.
Yes, that's a good question. As a John leader, there are a number of the social media platforms give us an opportunity to access all corners of the world and all platforms in the world. So just like I've said, I'm volunteering with them. The first thing I did, I joined a Pan-African group called I Love Black People. After joining this Pan-African group, I Love Black People, I equally interacted with a number of youths across Africa. So that one built my network. In doing so, these youths also volunteer with a number of organizations. And I requested them that I'm interested in joining them, joining different platforms that they work at. And equally, they add me to different social media platforms, including WhatsApp groups and other platforms. So from there, I equally came up with an idea that why not me advocating for something in line with sustainable development goals. Then I think of having to measure on one area of advocacy, that is the climate action, the SDG number 13. So thinking of climate action, I think of coming up with a group to bring a WhatsApp group to bring these my friends across the world together. I formed a WhatsApp group, but managing WhatsApp group was difficult. You find people share different activities, Bitcoin, very many things. Yeah. And so I decided to create a Twitter account for this group of people, that this my friends, and I decided to name it Green World Youth, simply because I wanted to bring the youths across the globe together and also to champion for sustainable development goals, but mostly on climate action. So that was the main idea for coming up with this group. After creating this Twitter account, I decided to start following people who are interested in climate action, people who are advocating for sustainable development goals. So in doing this, I follow them, I like the activities they do, I retweet the activity, and equally those who followed me back, I will be able to DM them in their inboxes, tell them who I am and what I'm doing, and equally show interest in working together and collaborating. So that is the way I've been doing, and in championing for that, I've managed to link up with a number of people globally, not only in Africa, but across the world, and we are championing for sustainable development goals. So that is basic information about me and how we started the Foundation Green World Youth. Yes.
Wonderful. So you obviously worked social media to your absolute advantage, networking and accessing different groups and increasing your exposure, but also sharing and increasing other people's activities. So a mutual sort of sharing, it sounds like. I want to ask you something. You sound very focused on climate action and mobilizing the youth. What do you think the youth need to do most right now and over the next 7 years? What action will you be advocating for?
Yes, thanks for that wonderful question. As John Linus, me personally, I'm a youth, and I know what youths need and what we are heading to achieve, to make the world more sustainable. What we need to tell youth is empowerment is a key in promoting development, and also access to information also plays a critical role in nurturing and making the people that we need, the future leaders and the current leaders that we have. So the thing is, I'll advise my fellow youths to share their ideas online. Is in sharing your ideas when the world will know what you are able to offer and
Mm-hmm,
what you need and why you need it.
mm-hmm,
So the moment you share your idea to the people, the world will see that for example, John Linus, I can do this and this in this field. I'm good in advocacy for climate action, and it is now that we act more than ever, because if we wait for our leaders to do all these things for us, we will absolutely fail terribly, because leaders they will create for us a conducive environment but not do these things for us. And what I want to also to urge fellow youths across the globe is that if we come together, we share our ideas on board, and we equally think of something that we can think of making the world better that we need things, I think it will be possible, because idea shared will make a great impact.
there is such,
Yes.
I believe that so much, that creativity is what the world needs so much right now. And when we come together and fire our neurons together, new ideas can come out, whereas if we're siloed in our lonely corners, it's often a struggle to come up with something as powerful. So I do agree with you. um, I want to ask you something. So you're very focused. I feel there's a sort of, almost in climate action, perhaps there's a divide between youth action and other citizens, old people's action, for want of a better word. Do you think that there is power in the fusion of everybody who's alive right now coming together? So you have the youth who have new ideas, are living the angst, and are trying to paint a picture of tomorrow, who are disillusioned with government. And then you have sort of people who are in their career, mature in their career, have domain expertise and knowledge and education. Is this a match made in heaven for change, or is there something else that we should be looking at? What do you think?
Yes, thanks a lot. For us to have a sustainable world, there is need for collaboration. And it is a call for all stakeholders to come on board, to share their ideas. And in sharing this idea, we get to learn. A typical example is this one. For instance, we learn from the old people than us that they need to show us the way. We believe that they have wisdom. They say that old is gold. So yes, with their wisdom, we can equally help to influence change that we need. We as young advocates and youths, we have the power to influence people online, and also we are the majority in online platforms. So
Mm,
if we use our skills online,
right.
yes, yes, if we use our skills and our youthfulness rightfully, and our usefulness rightfully, we will be able to create a positive change that will generally create a better world that we all need and all aspire to.
I
Yes.
love that vision. I love that idea of collaboration. So the domain experts, the industry experts that have the knowledge to share, and the youth have the energy, the will, and the social media savvy to propagate some new information, some new direction and a movement. That sounds ideal. Is it happening right now? Is that picture happening right now? Or do we need to make that happen?
Kindly pardon, I beg pardon.
Yeah. So what we just described, so the collaboration between domain experts and those with education and knowledge in their fields, and the youth who are just coming out of universities and so on now, who have the will and have the passion and have the social media savvy, the blend of these two groups, the collaboration of these two groups, sounds like a match made in heaven. Is it happening now, this blending, this collaboration, or do we need to make this happen?
Yes, that is right now, though there are a number of people who are trying to join hands with youths, but a lot is still required. A lot is still needed to bring these people on board. We are, as youths, we've been struggling to get these people who are knowledgeable and people who can share the idea. But the problem we have is that most of them have no time to share with youths, because you find them busy with their schedule, creating time for youths, maybe some. And also the problem we have with youths that when we meet with these people who are knowledgeable and believe also they have money generally, we tend to see the money aspect in them than the idea that we need to get from them. So that's the problem we youths also have, because we see that if we meet those dignitaries, those big people, we see the sense of money in them, so that they also give us a little attention, little or no attention, because they know that maybe when we meet with them, we interact with them, then result will be asking for money from them, of which most of them are not ready to give.
Right.
Yes. So I'm urging, or I'm requesting those persons who are at least have knowledge and are in favorable positions to assist, if they can join hands with the youths who are seriously passionate about creating change. They empower them, they influence them positively, and equally, if they can have a listening ear to them, they share with them the ideas then that they have, and equally help them in implementing these ideas.
Right.
A typical example is that I had an idea with my organization. The idea was called Back to Eden Initiative. Back to Eden Initiative aims in planting fruit trees in Kenya, across the Kenya, for health gain, for environmental conservation, and equally for food production. And apart from that, planting fruit trees, we can equally plant them in forests to take back monkeys to their original homeland.
Yes.
Yes. So we have ideas, but we need people to help us championing for these ideas for them to be implemented.
Right.
Yes.
So you mentioned a little while back in the interview that you are among the top 500 top influencers, but the line broke up and I didn't quite hear you. Could you just repeat what that is about? Could you repeat that? What is this top 500 influencer thing and your position in it?
Yes. Yes. Just like if you don't share your ideas, people won't know what you are doing globally.
Yeah.
So what we've been doing is that we've been collaborating with a number of youths working at a grassroots level, a number of women groups, a number of different activists. So what we do is that we take what they do at a grassroots level, we post them in different social media social media platforms, then people see these activities that they are doing. In doing that, we are influencing other people also to do and copy the same.
Right.
So yes, we've done so. We've involved ourselves in different activities, cleanup activities, tree planting, and equally mentorships programs in line with sustainable development goals. So with that, the world also is watching what we are doing online,
Right.
because we do share them online.
Right.
So I don't know the criteria they used to rank us, but we saw we were ranked at position 202 of 500 positive influencers on climate action. So it was a
Amazing. And who ranked you? Who ranked you? Who was the
you're saying,
organization ranking you?
I don't get you clearly, but please
So
pardon.
who ranked you? Which organization ranked you?
Yes, it was Sustain Me. Sustain Me, it's an organization. We just find ourselves being ranked. Sustain Me, it's called sustainable something, but I'm not clear about the yes.
Wonderful.
But we were ranked with different organizations. We saw the likes of different social media activists on climate action. The regional director for UNEP, I saw it was above me, and also UNEP, different organizations were ranked with us, but we managed to be at top 200.
Ah, you were in there. That's amazing. Well done. You know, your philosophy that you've just described there of giving visibility and voice to grassroots action, that philosophy of exposing and sharing what people are doing, who were previously unseen, is a very similar philosophy to that of the Circularists, and why I started this video series. You know, to give voice so that more people will hear, you know, from John Linus and from others about the work that we do in the shadows. I think it needs to come into the limelight so that people are aware, because as you said, and I agree with you so much, it gives permission to others to do the same, to step forward and launch their own projects in their localities. I think that's the thing that drives me most, is to inspire others to act, because we don't really have much time now. We're in this window. It's all about action and collaboration, I believe. What do you think? Would you agree with that sentiment?
Yes, generally collaboration is the key in promote everything. When we come together, unity plays a critical role in everything. For instance, if we bring all stakeholders on board, not all stakeholders, but all the activists across the world, we come together and say that we want to see the change that we really want. It is possible. It is possible, because if we say that we want to do this activity and we champion together towards achieving it, and we all bring our efforts together, it will work. And I believe that collaboration plays a critical role in promoting the sustainable development goals.
Yes.
Yes.
Are you seeing enough? Are you getting enough collaboration? Are you seeing enough in your own journey, or are there doors that are still closed to you? How are you experiencing your desire for collaboration?
It is not enough to say that we have gained a number of persons who have joined us, but we still need a number of people also to come on board, to people to know that we are doing this and this. Though it is quite expensive to do all these activities, because right now I'm still a student, and I don't have funding to do my project, but I depend on friends and equally the family. If I get the little I get, I try to use it in my area of advocacy. And also, as a student in Kenya, we are given a loan called ELB loan, Higher Education Loans, from Higher Education Loans Board. This ELB loan help to boost different students to do different activities. For instance, my loan, I take the partial part of the loan for doing my advocacy, and some parts of it to pay for fee, of which it is not enough, but we are just trying to create a positive change, because if we don't act right now, nobody will make the world that we need for us.
Right.
So it is just a matter of dedication, Yes, it is just a matter of dedication. We share the little we have, but also we still require a number of people to come on board. Those who can help, those who can chip in to assist, we still request them to join us. If they see the sense of the positive impact we need to create and we are creating, I think they will come on board and share with us. The little thing they share, the little idea we share, I think will create the positive, the conducive world we all need.
Mhm.
Yes.
In terms of the mission ahead to avert from the road to 2.8 degrees, because we're in danger of overshooting 1.5. 2.8 is it within view. We need to act. How optimistic do you feel that we'll get there as
I'm
humanity?
very Yes, I'm very optimistic that you can make all things happen, because when I was starting, it was a very, very long journey, because a number of people tell you, you're wasting a lot of time. Why don't you just focus only on your studies? But not all the time in school is for studies. Sometimes you find you have free time. What do you use? What do we do with this free time? It is that for me, I use it as in amplifying what people need to know and what people get to learn from other parts of the world.
Yes.
So the thing is, there's still need for all of us to come together, and I'm very optimistic that if we come together, everything will be okay.
Oh, I
So
love that.
you are involved in us, you are welcome to join us to champion for
I will.
these
I
activities.
certainly will.
Yes.
I would love to speak to you beyond this interview. Yes, I'd love to speak to
You're
you
welcome.
beyond this interview about further collaboration and introducing you into some of my circles so that we can come up with some new initiatives and directions for change. I want to ask you, so are you aware, can you see some of the early impacts on the front line of climate change? Can you see biodiversity loss? Can you see the impacts of global warming in your environment? What can you see?
Yes, it is true that the climate crisis exists. Not only in Kenya, we have a number of evidence that shows that there is climate crisis. We have a number of flooding. We have a number of deserted areas due to climatic changes in different parts of the country. And this has really affected many of individuals across the country, because, people go on bed without food. That is an impact that make a number of people have equally died as a result of no food due to diverse weather condition that has made the areas not to be conducive for food production. Yes.
So people are
So
dying
those are
right now. People are dying right now of hunger because of the impacts of climate change and the reduced capacity to produce food.
Yes, a number of people during the last season, a number of people died, yes, in the northern part of Kenya as a result of lack of food to eat, lack of water for their livestock. And this has resulted into a loss, because those who depended on their livestock as a source of livelihood and source of food have incurred a number of losses because they can't get their normal gains from their livestock. So climate change is a real thing. It exists, and we need to act now more than ever to combat it.
So John, if I were to, I would like to invite you to send a message to all who live in the global north. We have the higher carbon footprint. We are using the way that we live, our lifestyle is more carbon intensive. We send up more emissions, I think, on average. What would you say to all of us? If you could say
Yes,
anything.
it is quite sad and quite embarrassing if we continue doing that, and we've experienced the impact of climate change. We need to stop this. We always, as an activist, we have an app called We Don't Have Time app. In the app, we give climate love to those who do good to the environment. We also share our climate ideas for environmental sustainability. And also we give climate warning to those who do wrong or do bad to the environment. So in doing so, we try to look at these organizations or these companies that do emissions to the environment. We try to give them climate review to stop the emissions. If they can, the best way is to minimize the emission, because maybe they need to continue with their production, but they can reduce the emission for us to have a sustainable world. So that is a polite request that if they can minimize the emission, I think the world will be more sustainable than if they continue emitting the toxic gases into air. So I know that all is possible and they can do that if they can. I hope most of them have a listening here and they can revert in combating climate crisis. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you. I'll share your message. I hope it goes far and wide. And I'd love to talk with you beyond our call to further collaboration and to just draw a bit nearer and bring solution. I think you're doing an amazing work. Stay strong, keep up. More people, help is coming. The Circularists are coming.
Thank you. I'm very, very much humbled to have you on board, and you be ready to give me an interview, which I know will create a positive impact to the world. So I know that the main message that I want to give the people is that we also need to invest in the climate education. There's need to educate people, the need to protect environment, and not only to the youths also. We have a number of groups that requires education for climate sustainability. So just the way we are doing and the way I'm doing in mentoring a number of persons along the lake region of Kenya, we try to tell them what they need to do, and what they need not to do.
Right. This is key, I think.
In doing so, I've managed to talk to a number of widows across the lake who are affected, who are now affected, and HIV affected persons. We've talked to them, we've tried to mentor them, and they're doing different and various agricultural production that will make their livelihood to improve and also to improve on their health status.
Amazing. Amazing. And saving lives in the process, I'm sure.
Yes.
Amazing work.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, John, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you. I hope we can talk again at a future date and to track your progress and my progress even. So thank you so much for joining me on the Circularists, and I look forward to sharing your messages far and wide.
Yes, I'll be humbled, and I'm ready to hear the responses from different persons. And if they are ready to join us, we are more than ready to invite a number of people to come on board. We share knowledge and equally grow together for a better world.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Perfect. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. All right. Thank you so much, John Linus.
Bye. 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 Yes.